You're probably used to seeing your favorite fragrance content creators talking about the same brands over and over again. But how do you know which are the best fragrances to get from those brands? Well, in this video, I'm going to be telling you what I think are the 3 best fragrances to buy from the 9 biggest fragrance brands. But what makes this video absolutely legendary is that everybody watching is about to be put on game, because 3 of the brands are designer, 3 are dupe companies, and 3 are niche, meaning no matter what your budget is, you're going to be smelling the best. Let's start with the designer brands. I don't know about you, but when I think designer, I think of Jean-Paul Gaultier, and it's probably because of how iconic their bottle designs are. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. My dream physique is literally this bottle here. Obviously, probably a different color to the... yeah. Probably not that color. I did the math and I own 9 fragrances from Jean-Paul Gaultier. Wait, no, 10. 10. But the 3 best, in my opinion, is Le Male Le Parfum, Le Beau Le Parfum, and Le Male Elixir Absolute. Le Male Le Parfum, though, is by far the best from the brand, and it's one of my favorite designer fragrances of all time. It's still sweet and sexy. It's got that Jean-Paul Gaultier scent profile, but it adds a powdery iris note. And if you've never smelled an iris fragrance, it just elevates the scent to another level. But Le Male Le Parfum just perfectly balances sweet and sexy with classy and sophisticated, meaning you can wear this with a suit and a tie out on a fancy dinner date, but you can also wear this just wearing what I have on now, a quarter zip and a t-shirt. It doesn't matter. This fragrance just works pretty much no matter what. As long as the weather is cold outside, you can wear this. Le Beau Le Parfum, in my opinion, is Jean-Paul Gaultier's best spring and summertime fragrance. It's so refreshing. If you like coconut, this is honestly a must-own scent. I remember when I first bought this about a year ago now, my brother's first reaction when he smelled this, that smells like a 7-Eleven Slurpee snow cone. And that has just stuck with me to this day because I strongly agree. It's not a natural smelling fragrance at all. It's not a refined fragrance, but that is not what this is trying to be. It's just a bomb of sweetness, vanilla, tonka bean, coconut, and pineapple. Genuinely, it smells like a pina colada in a bottle. Tropical cocktail while lying on a beach at a holiday resort in Fiji. That's what I think when I think of Le Beau Le Parfum. Le Beau EDT is also fine. It's similar. I just prefer the Parfum because the performance is better. It's more rich and thick. It just smells high quality. I think it's worth spending the extra $40 or $50 so just to get the Parfum version. If you know me, you know that me and Le Male Elixir have never really gotten along. I've always found it too sweet and it always gives me a headache for some reason. And I still get some of that with the Absolute. Wait, this is the wrong one. I can't tell the difference between the OG Elixir and Absolute. One sec. Yeah, I was holding the wrong bottle. So this is the Absolute, this is the Elixir. They look so similar. So Elixir still has that honey, tobacco, lavender combo, but it adds in a plum note. I've also found it's slightly more spicy, but more importantly, they've toned down the sweetness, which is exactly what I needed in this fragrance. You still get the mass appeal, you still get that crazy intoxicating scent trail. I find that Le Male Elixir and Le Male Elixir Absolute are by far the most complimented Jean-Paul Gaultier scents. So if you purely want compliments, buy this one. Actually, the most popular designer fragrance brand right now might just be Louis Vuitton. I'm sorry, Jean-Paul Gaultier, but I think these are getting more hype right now. Choosing the 3 best from Louis Vuitton is tough, and it's not even because I own so many of them. It's because the first 2 are easy picks. Pacific Chill and Le Sable is Roses are easily the 2 best. It's about finding that 3rd one. If Afternoon Swim had better longevity and projection, it would probably take the number 3 spot, but because it doesn't, it's going to be Louis Vuitton Lovers. Psych, that fragrance smells like old expired pickles. You got pranked. It's going to be Louis Vuitton L'Immensité, which is it is the best ginger dominant scent in my entire collection. Yes, even better than Ingenious Ginger by Goldfield & Bank. Oh my goodness. That's so L'Immensité, I picture wearing on a hot summer's day, but at like a summertime wedding. This is an extremely versatile scent, but I think it's one of those fresh fragrances that you can really dress up, and that's hard to find because personally, when I dress up, I think of more heavy, dark, sweet, mysterious scents, but L'Immensité, you could easily dress this up. In fact, I would feel more comfortable wearing this in a suit and a tie versus t-shirt and shorts. Pacific Chill, you guys should already know, apricot, peach, lemon is just so juicy and uplifting. It balances fruitiness with sweetness perfectly. It's fresh and sweet. How can you go wrong? I also get great performance for such a fresh fragrance, around 8 to 9 hours of longevity with moderate to strong projection. This is also my most complimented Louis Vuitton fragrance. I wore this for a week straight in Dubai, got 3 compliments in 1 day. There ain't many fragrances that have ever gotten me that. Let me just tell you that. Let me just say, what am I saying? I know a lot of you might be shocked, especially if you don't really watch me, that a Louis Vuitton Imagination is not on this list. I think it smells good. It smells like luxurious soap, but it's just not special enough to be a top 3 fragrance within the Louis Vuitton brand. Le Sable's Roses is a fragrance that kind of gets overshadowed in the Louis Vuitton brand because of Ombre Nomad, but I find that way too screechy and just oud heavy for me. But Le Sable's Roses, in terms of the notes, you get Bulgarian rose, regular rose, you do get oud, but I'm telling you, it's a lot more subtle, and then you get a beautiful saffron note, which kind of makes it smell complex. It adds some spiciness. It's perfectly unisex in my opinion, maybe slightly masculine. Beast mode performance, I'm talking 12 plus hours of longevity. It gets compliments. If you just want a rose oud fragrance, I think this is one of the best ones out there. It rivals fragrances like Oud Satin Mood by MFK. It's a masterpiece. The final designer brand that we are going to cover is Valentino, and man, do I love this brand. And do I own a lot of them? I think I own 8 Valentino fragrances now. But despite owning so many, choosing the 3 best only took me about 10 seconds because these 3 are a 10 out of 10. The number 1 best, in my opinion, is Coral Fantasy. This is the one that kind of works the best as an all-year-round scent, but it's also much more unique than the majority of the other Valentino fragrances. This adds a really nice fruitiness with a juicy red apple note. You also get tobacco, but don't worry, it's not a harsh, in-your-face, pipe smoke type of tobacco. It's super subtle. It just adds a really nice kind of mysterious, sexy vibe to the fragrance. The brand new Extra Dose is also fantastic, and I have zero problem recommending this. This one smells much more basic. It's probably the most mass-appealing Valentino. To me, it's just a huge dose of vanilla, but the reality is with Valentino scents, I can't really pick out notes most of the time. They just smell like a Valentino. I don't really know how else to describe it to you unless you go out and just smell a few Valentinos yourself. Then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The reason this one is so good though is that it knows what it's trying to be and it doesn't try and be anything else. It's a beast mode going out compliment getter. I'm talking 14 plus hours of longevity with crazy projection. I'm saying 3 to 4 sprays. Anything more, you're going to suffocate both yourself and anybody you come in contact with. If you're a freshly single young man and you're going to go out to clubs and bars, as shallow as it sounds, buy this one. And then Uomo Intense goes in a completely different direction. I mean, if you told me this was from a different brand completely, you slapped like a Dior logo on the bottle, and I didn't know any better, I would believe you. Some of the main notes in this one is iris, tonka bean for that sweetness. You also get vanilla and leather, and the leather and iris together go together. Wait, they go together so well and seamlessly. This is the one I imagine you wear with like a black leather jacket on like a motorbike, but it's also kind of cool because it's a very sweet, almost gourmand scent. Don't think Dior Homme Intense by Dior, because I know a lot of people love to compare these two. This one is much more sweet, it's much more youthful smelling in my opinion, and overall I think it's the better fragrance. To all the people on a budget watching, holding their breaths and waiting for a more affordable option, don't worry, it's time to move on to 3 of the biggest dupe fragrance companies and the 3 best fragrance releases from those 3 companies. Let's kick it off with Lattafa, arguably the most popular and most well-known Middle Eastern fragrance brand. And the first 2 are non-negotiables. At least for the next 3 months, I really don't see any 2 other fragrances from this brand overtaking these 2, because that's how good they are. If you've watched more than 3 of my videos, you would have heard me talk about Lattafa Kamrakawa by now. This kind of completely strays away from the angel share DNA at this point, because yes, although it's still sweet, it has the praline, the dates, the slight booziness. This one tones down the cinnamon a lot and instead adds in some spiciness. It adds in that dark roasted coffee. It's just such an amazing scent that smells so much more expensive than its $30 price tag. Honor and Glory is a super sweet, powdery vanilla bomb, but it's also so unique. It has a crème brûlée accord, which is like a French dessert, I'm pretty sure, with like the custard on top. To me, it just smells like a baked edible pastry. And if you're zesty like me, that's like a match made in heaven. Not to mention the longevity and projection of both this and Kamrakawa is so insanely good and impressive. I mean, 8 to 10 hours longevity, no issues with projection, and you're only paying like $25 to $35. in the US for these type of fragrances. I mean, it just sounds illegal even saying that out loud. My third favorite Lattafa fragrance probably would change if you asked me, you know, tomorrow, but right now, Quiad Alfersen is the one that comes to mind. This is a fruity, sweet, woody scent. You get a juicy pineapple note. If you like something like Creed Aventus, but have always imagined a more tropical version of that scent, this one would be perfect for you. I would say this is a great all year round signature scent for a man or a woman, honestly. Probably does lean a little bit more masculine, but if you just want to smell like a freshly cut pineapple, get this. You will not be disappointed. It's also probably my favorite Lattafa bottle. I mean, damn. It's a sexy bottle. Let's talk about Armaf, also known as Club de Nuit. People actually think Armaf's not the brand. People think that Club de Nuit is its own brand because that's how popular that fragrance line is now. My three favorites from Armaf though are honestly no-brainers. Up first is just the OG Club de Nuit EDT. A lot of people hate on the opening, and I get it. It does kind of smell like lemon cleaner, but interestingly, I found the more I wear it, the more I like weirdly start to like the opening. It's kind of like my relationship with sugar-free Red Bull. I know it tastes bad, but I also just love it, and I don't think I could live without it. My number 2 pick would be Club de Nuit Milestone. This is a dupe of Creed Millissim's Imperial. It's a salty, aquatic scent that has a kind of creamy watermelon undertone that goes from opening to dry down. It's a very strong and long-lasting scent in the summer, and I think for a younger guy, maybe looking for like a back-to-school scent, I picture him a bit more athletic, maybe like a gym fragrance. This would be incredible. Some people, I picture them a bit more athletic, maybe like a gym fragrance. This would be incredible. Some people don't like it because it is quite salty. Like it, give it a chance because I can almost guarantee you will fall in love with it just like I did. And of course, Club de Nuit Press Sure. This is by far their most high quality juice. You can just tell when you smell it. Like, it's almost unbelievable that this is $55. $55 for 55 mils. So yes, you don't get a full 100 ml bottle, but it smells so high quality. The performance is excellent. If you didn't know, it's a dupe of Creed Aventus Absolute. So if you want to give off those masculine CEO vibes, get this fragrance. I'll fully admit, it's not my style of scent. I prefer the OG Aventus. In fact, I wear Club de Nuit Intense Man far more than this. But I'll just say objectively, in terms of just quality for quality, this one pretty much tops any fragrance in this video. Any fragrance in the dupe company section of this video. If you find that you like watching this channel regularly, I would really appreciate it if you could go and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. 77% of people that consistently watch my channel are not subscribed, and it makes me cry every time I see that statistic. The final dupe brand I want to talk about in this video is Rasasi, because I now own 6 Rasasi fragrances, and yes, technically there are bigger and probably more popular dupe companies out there, but Rasasi is taking over right now, so I want to put you guys on the best. Their brand new release is worth all of the hype and more. Rasasi Hawas Tropical. This smells honestly about 90% similar to Jean Paul Gaultier's Paradise Garden. The only difference is I get a more thicker coconut with this. It kind of leans more in the Le Beau Parfum territory, because I find Paradise Gardens kind of focuses more on that minty herbalness, and then it's more of like a coconut water. With this, I get more of a thick and heavy coconut cream and vanilla, but it's super sexy, it's really addictive, and it works great in the summer or just at any season, honestly. My all-time favorite Rasasi fragrance though is Hawas Fire. I'm not sure how this became underrated, especially with how insane looking the bottle is, but this is a really unique fragrance, and it's not a dupe of anything to my knowledge. It's kind of like a salty aquatic mineral scent crossed with like a vanilla, sweet, almost caramelly vibe. Something like Azara the Most Wanted Parfum if it made love with Versace Pour Homme and then made a baby. This would be the baby that came out. It would definitely be a risky blind buy, but for me at least, it paid off. The performance is pretty crazy as well. 10 plus hours longevity. I think this is a really sexy and unique all year round signature scent that probably works well if you like going out, partying, clubbing, that type of thing. I wouldn't say it's office or school friendly. Finally, if you do want something office and school friendly, Hawas Ice is perfect for that. It's minty, it's fresh. It comes across actually quite sophisticated because unlike the OG Hawas, it gets rid of the kind of obnoxious fruitiness of it. It's still sweet, it still has a touch of fruitiness, but I would say it's a much more gentlemanly type of scent, which I really appreciate. If you were going to blind buy just one Hawas fragrance, I think Hawas Ice is pretty hard to dislike. To all of my ballers watching, or maybe people watching that have a big budget lined up for their birthday or for Christmas, it's time to move on to niche. And I'm gonna make sure these niche fragrances aren't duped heavily. You know, they're very unique smelling and they are 100% gonna be worth that higher price tag. Starting off, brand of Xerjoff, one of the most hyped up niche fragrance brands, and for good reason. They got some bangers. Naxos and Torino 21 have to be out of this 3 because Naxos is just a timeless classic. 60 plus niche fragrances later, this is still one of the most worn ones that I constantly come back to. In fact, this is my backup bottle. In the crate, I have an older bottle. It's almost empty and I realized, you know, I'm going to be using this entire thing by the end of the year. I need a backup bottle ASAP. Some of the notes you get are tobacco, honey, and vanilla. If you just want to smell 10 times more wealthy than you probably actually are, get this fragrance. Torino 21 is an ultra-realistic citrus fragrance, more specifically, mint. If you like the smell of freshly squeezed mint, or you can imagine yourself liking that, this is the fragrance to get. Yes, I do think it smells like a straight mojito in a bottle, and as a big mojito drinker myself, that's something that I really, really appreciate. Do be warned though, some people don't like those ultra-realistic, natural-smelling fragrances. You might actually prefer something more synthetic without even realizing it. So if you're still relatively new to fragrances, you're still trying to kind of figure out what you like, I would definitely recommend sampling this, but honestly, you should be sampling pretty much any fragrance I mentioned in this video, except maybe some of the cheaper dupes. My third favorite Xerjoff fragrance, and the one that I recommend, is a bit more of a sleeper. That is Xerjoff Starlight. If you've ever wanted to know what cardamom smells like, smell this, and you'll pretty quickly know. Some of the notes you get in this fragrance is cardamom, like I just said. You also get a nice bergamot. You get cinnamon, almond, amber, and woods. It is just a delicious, sexy fragrance. Yes, it is very spicy, but that cinnamon really makes it smell like Christmas, like the holiday season. I need to wear this stuff more. It's been too long. I mean, you can just see how much I used to love it. I don't talk about it as much these days, but yeah. What have I been doing? Where have I been? Woody, spicy, sweet, unisex, Christmas. For the winter, this thing is killer. I feel like it would be illegal to talk about the biggest niche fragrance brands without talking about Parfums de Marly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I own about 13 Parfums de Marly fragrances, about 8 separate ones. My 3 favorites though, I've got to mention Leighton, and I know this one gets talked about a lot. Some people love it, some people hate it. I do think it is worth all of the hype. I don't wear it all the time, but genuinely to me, it does smell like a spicy apple pie scent that is still versatile enough to wear pretty much all year round, except maybe in the summertime. It's a classic. At least sample it, because hey, I thought it was overhyped at first, maybe 2 years ago now, but fast forward those 2 years and I love it. It's a solid 9 out of 10 for me. The best spring and summertime scent from PDM is not Sedley, it's not Perseus, it's not even the new Castley. It is by far Greenly. This smells like expensive apple shampoo. I used to use a cheap apple shampoo when I was like 12. This basically takes the best parts of that scent and puts it into a perfume, because you still get that juicy, sweet green apple, but then it's surrounded by some woodiness. It's surrounded by the oak moss, which basically means it doesn't just smell like straight candy. Well above average performance for such a fresh summer scent as well. I think Greenly leaves the sexiest scent trail. This one gets me so many compliments, especially from my mum. She really likes the scent for some reason. And people that say compliments don't count from their parent, if it's from their parents, fuck you. My number one all-time PDM though is Ojan. I own 3 bottles of this fragrance. I'm just a sucker for gourmands, and if you didn't know, gourmand just means edible, and this just smells like an edible cinnamon scroll. And right now I'm calorie cutting. I'm in a diet, so this reminds me of better times. But where's Altair, Finn? Altair won niche fragrance of the year. Yes, Altair is fantastic. In fact, it probably gets more compliments than all 3 of the PDMs I just mentioned combined. But it also just isn't special enough, in my opinion. It's so good. It smells incredible. Vanilla, cinnamon, orange blossom. It's amazing. I'm not taking anything away from Altair, but I just don't really wear it because it just doesn't do it for me. I'm not going to recommend you something if it doesn't do it for me. What the fuck? It's been a long day. The final niche fragrance brand I'm going to be talking about is Mind Games, and the 3 that I'm holding are, in my opinion, the 3 best. At least the 3 best that I've tried. And I've tried at least 15 from Mind Games. I find it so funny how people think anytime a creator talks about Mind Games, it's just because they received a free bottle. I don't know how to talk about this without sounding like my ego's through the roof, but myself and any fragrance content creator with maybe over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube get sent 90% of their bottles that they talk about in the video. They just can't be bothered to say, I got this for free, by the way, every single time they talk about a fragrance. The only reason you guys know that we got these for free is because Mind Games sends their fragrances to every creator. Even if they have 10,000 followers, they probably got sent a free Mind Games bottle. That's why you guys have an issue with it. Yeah, for example, all 6 of my Bond No. 9 fragrances, they were sent to me for free. 3 of my Xerjoff fragrances sent to me for free. 2 of my Nishanis sent to me for free. Just because I was sent it for free doesn't mean I won't trash the fragrance. In fact, I was even sent 2 Mind Games fragrances that I've openly said are terrible. Double Attack, which I sold. Checkmate. Both of those suck, in my opinion. See how I can openly trash on fragrances that I've been sent for free? Isn't that crazy? Anyway, Mind Games Blockade, yes, it has some performance issues. Yes, it only lasts about 5 to 6 hours, but the smell is a straight 10 out of 10, and for that, it deserves to be in this top 3. It's essentially Creed Aventus, but remove the pineapple and put in a super tropical and creamy mango. It's amazing. It's not just a regular mango, it's a green mango, which means it smells very realistic. It's slightly spiced. It's a beautiful fragrance that I just love wearing. My all-time favorite Mind Games, and right now my just all-time favorite fragrance, is Mind Games Prodigy, but I hate showing you guys this, not because I'm trying to gatekeep, but because the bottle doesn't even show properly on camera. I feel like I'm just blinding you guys. It's so white. This is a super powdery rose, vanilla, and cafe latte scent that is so comforting, but still sexy at the same time. And for me, finding that balance of something that is comforting and familiar, but still has that sexy quality is so difficult. But they've done it with Prodigy. Finally, Mind Games Queening. This used to be my favorite fragrance from Mind Games, but I have found... Oh, what's up? Say hi to the YouTube. What's up? No, I'm just... Wait, say hi to the YouTube.
What's up, YouTube? Wait, are you live?
No, I don't do live. I'm not live. I'm just recording a video.
Is I gonna feature in the video?
Yeah, what's your username? Shout it out.
Fragrance Hype.
Fragrance Hype.
Biggest fragrance influencer. I get all the MILFs. You gotta cut that out.
Mind Games Queening. Rum, coconut, vanilla, and iris. It just smells like pure vanilla extract that you'd find in like your kitchen cabinet or something. It's just ultra realistic, fluffy, walking and floating on a cloud. Vanilla. That is going to wrap up this video on the 3 best fragrances from the most popular fragrance brands. I hope you guys loved the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.